Today we are working on Programming Challenge 9 in Chapter 9 in the book Starting Out with Java. And this class, this programming challenge, we have to create two classes. One class is a bank account and the other is savings account. And this programming challenge we will use for the first time abstract classes. The bank account that we have to create is an abstract class that would have these fields. The bank account class would have balance, number of deposits, number of withdrawals, amount, an annual interest rate, monthly service charge. Those are the fields for the class. And here are the methods: the constructor, the deposit, withdraw, calculate interest, and monthly process. We have to create a constructor that will take the balance and the annual interest rate. We have to create a deposit method that would take an amount and it will increment the balance, and it will increment the number of depositors as well. The withdraw method would be the same, except we will decrement the balance whenever someone uses this method, withdraw, and we will increment the number of withdrawals. Also here in the calculate interest method, we calculate the interest by dividing the annual percentage interest rate by 12, and then multiplying by the balance and adding to the balance according to the programming challenge description from the book. Here, a monthly process method, they said we have to subtract the monthly service charge from the balance and then call the interest interest method, and then we would set all the fields, all the class fields, like the number of deposits, the number of withdrawals, and the monthly service charge to 0. We will have to set it to 0, all of them, according to the description. So we have to create the class. The class would be bank account. It will be an abstract class, and it will have these fields. All of the fields would be familiar to you except for the last one, protected, the field with the protected access modifier. So I use protected because I want to access this monthly service charge inside the package, because later in this programming challenge we have to create a savings account that would inherit from this class, and we have to increment this field from that class. That way I can access it without instantiating bank account, which I can't because it is an abstract class. So that's why I used a protected access modifier to access this field inside the package. Then we have to generate the constructor for the bank account class. You want to generate constructor. It will only take, as they said, a balance, and it will also take an interest, APR, annual percentage interest, interest rate equal APR. If we go back to the description or the or this file, bank account, we created all the fields. We created the constructor here, bank account. So we have to create a deposit method that would increment the balance, and it will increment the number of deposits. Public void deposit, it will take amount, and we will say balance plus equal to the amount, and we would also increment the number of deposits, and we will just copy this, and we will change to this withdraw, and balance would be decremented minus equal to the amount, and we will increment the monthly, the number of withdrawals. So we created the deposit, the withdraw, so we have to create the calcInterest method. Public void calcInterest. So we will create a monthly interest, and we will divide the interest rate by 12 according to the description, and they said monthly balance equal, okay, monthly balance, monthly interest equals balance times monthly interest, and then we have to increment balance to the monthly interest. We create the monthly interest, we divide by 12 the interest rate, we multiply the balance by the monthly interest, and we add to the balance. And lastly, for the monthly process, public void, they said we have to subtract a monthly service charge, if there is any, from the balance, and we have to call the calcInterest method. Then we have to set a number of deposits to 0, number of withdrawals to 0 as well, and service charge to 0 according to the description. So I think we are, I forgot to create, to generate the getters and setters for this class. We need all of them. So after we create the bank account, the abstract bank account, we have to create another class called SavingsAccount that we inherit from the bank account. It would inherit extends bank account. So we have to implement, we have to create the constructor, because the bank account class has a constructor. That's why we have to create a constructor. And if we go to the bank account description from the book, and not the bank account, we want the savings account description. The savings account description has a static Boolean field called is active that would keep track of whether an account is an active or inactive. If the account has less than $25, the account is inactive. If the account has more than $25, then it is active. So we have to create a static Boolean is active. And here inside the constructor, you will say is active equal super get a balance greater or equal to 25. So basically what we are saying is if the balance is greater or equal to $25, then the account will be active. If it is less than or equal to 25, or if it's less than 25, that means the account is not active. So in this class, savings account has three methods: withdraw, deposit, and monthly process. In the withdraw method, first we have to check if the account is active, and if it is active, that means the account has more than $25. In that case, we can subtract $25. If it is not active, we will not do anything because it is the balance is less than 25. So we will create a void withdraw double amount. So first thing would be to check if the get balance, if it is less than 25. And if it is less than 25, you're gonna say your account balance is too low and your account is inactive. And we have to set the Boolean is active to false, basically saying the account is not active. Else, if it is active and the account has more than $25, then they said we have to use the super classes withdraw method to withdraw the amount that is passed to this method. Then after that, we have to create a deposit method that we have to check if the account is active, and if it is active, we inform the user that the account is active, and we deposit the money. So we say public void deposit amount super deposit amount, and we will check if the balance is greater than 25. If it is greater than 25, we can say your account is active. and we will set active to true. And lastly, we create monthly process method for the savings account. So if we go back to the description, before we call the superclasses version of monthly process, we have to check the number of withdrawals. So we have to check if super get number of withdrawals, if it is greater than 4 times per month. If the number of withdrawals is greater than 4 times a month, then we have to increment. We have to increment this field, which is service charge, monthly service charge, to $1. We have to increment this. So all we have to do is service charge plus 1. The reason I'm not using I don't have to use super dot service charge. The reason I don't have to use this is because, as I said earlier, I'm using the protected access modifier, which allows me to access this field anywhere inside the package, challenge 09 package. If this was private, for example, this would give me an error because this wouldn't be accessible anymore, right? That's why I'm using a protected. And the reason I am incrementing by $1 is because it is from the book description for this programming challenge. If we go back to the savings account description, they said if the number of withdrawals is greater than 4 times a month, we have to increment the the service charge. So what else? We have to check the balance after we add the service charge. So if it is lower than $25, then we have to set the account to inactive. So we will check if super get balance is less than 25, then we have to set, we will say the account is inactive. Your balance is less than $25. And we have to set the field is active to false. So I think that would be it for this savings account class. We created the constructor, all 3 methods, and and we inherited from the bank account. So we have to create another class called bank account and savings account to test our program. So we will make an instance of the savings account class. You can say bank account savings account new savings account. And the reason I can use this class bank account is because I inherited the class here, right? All a savings account, all the classes that inherit from the bank account are children of the bank account. That's why I can use this statement: bank account, savings account, new savings account. So here is the balance. Let's say we start with $100 and our interest is 2.1%. So we will say savings account balance savings account get balance we will say interest savings account get interest. What else do I need? Number of deposits for the month. Number of withdrawals for the month. Savings account get number of withdrawals. I think that would be it. When we run, it's $100. The interest for the month is $2.1. The deposits is 0 and withdrawals is 0 because we haven't called those methods yet. If we deposit another 100, for example, they should give us 1 here. 1, okay. How about if we withdraw 50 as an example? $150, deposit is 1, withdraw is 1. What if I want to withdraw more than I have? You have to check that as well. 200. We don't want that. We want to make sure the person can't withdraw more than they have. So here in the withdraw method in the class savings account, we can say if super get balance is less than the amount, then we can say you can't withdraw because you don't have money in the account, and we just terminate the method. So we run again, we run the program again. You can't withdraw because you can't, you don't have enough money in the bank. So this works, right? So if we withdraw $50, it's fine. Withdrawals 1, there's no deposit. So I think we are done for this programming challenge. We created the two classes that they wanted, the bank account class, which is an abstract class that has these fields, and we created a constructor, getters and setters for the class, and we created the methods, deposit, withdraw, calculate interest, and monthly process for this class. And we created the subclass that would inherit from the bank account, and this class has only one field, a Boolean field, static Boolean field called disactive, that would keep track of whether an account is inactive or not, and we check in the constructor if it is greater or equal to 25, it is active. If it is less than that, it is not active. And we created withdraw and deposit and monthly process methods for the savings account. Thank you for watching, and if you find this helpful, please subscribe and like the video, and let me know what you guys think about this video. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.